This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And with 2010, it's already April 2010. Can you believe it? And you might be thinking to yourself, "Ooh, remember that trip in 2010 we're supposed to take to Walt Disney World? Time to book that trip now." Yeah, that's right. Now is a great time to book it, and MEI and Mouse Fan Travel can help you book that trip to Walt Disney World. In fact, they're a no-fee agency. What does that mean? It means they're not going to charge you anything to use their services. They're going to do all the work. They're going to book all those ADRs, book your hotel stay, help you with anything you need, recommendations, suggestions, and it's all free to you. Disney pays their bills, not you. So why not give them a try? Let them make your vacation that much easier on yourself, and maybe it'll make it even better. Check them out online at www.mousefantravel.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes, and we'll give you the world.
It's Wednesday, April 7th, 2010, and this is episode 704 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Len Testa, co-author of the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World. And Len, at the request of Van from Netcot.com, I downloaded Lotus Notes. Am I crazy?
Oh, yes.
Yes, run like the wind.
It's free.
Free is not always good.
Yeah, exactly. You get what you pay for, son. You get what you pay for.
Sorry, Van, but I have to disagree.
The man loves his Lotus Notes. What can I say?
Yeah, I mean, it's I use
it's a nightmare.
Also joining us on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
Matt, did you download Prodigy too?
That's next on my list, actually.
CompuServe.
CompuServe.
Hey, be careful of that Prodigy.
45, you're going the wrong way.
Star Tours.
Star Tours, yep.
Star Tours, yep.
Also joining us on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome, Mike.
I can go for a Star Tours ride right now.
It's like, that's what I say to myself every time I wake up in the morning, Mike.
And you can do that.
I could if I wanted to.
You could actually, yeah.
Hello, boss. I'm not feeling too well. I need to ride Star Tours.
Feeling well today.
Also joining us on today's show is the fabulous Annette Owens of MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Annette, it's been far too long.
I've definitely withheld my guest status.
Yeah, well, you got to serve your time. You made a poor decision taking those, performance enhancing substances, but you've learned your lesson now, haven't you?
Got my hand slapped, right?
That's right. It's Wednesday. We're answering your listener questions, and we're going to start with a question from Joe Carvalho of Danvers, Massachusetts. He writes, I wasn't sure if you knew that at least 10 of the submarines from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea attraction were buried on Disney World property at a landfill west of the Grand Floridian. The first three Bing aerial photos in the attached Word document show the subs while they were still above ground. The last two pictures show them mostly covered up with the back tail fins from a couple of the subs still showing. Len, what are you doing next weekend, and do you have a shovel?
How about a big truck?
It's be something from like the sequel to Reservoir Dogs, where we're out digging up subs. Mr. Black, Mr. White, Mr. Red. Why does he get to be Mr. White?
All right, I'll call Enterprise and see if they rent flatbed trucks. And
hello, Enterprise.
You can see
They'll just pick you up. Just tell them where to come.
Exactly.
He writes, I think the landfill sits on top of some big sinkhole because they keep placing large storage containers there and covering them up and then repeating the process. So either whatever they bury rots fast or the ground is sinking. Just my theory. I could be wrong.
Or both.
It could be both. It's true. That's awesome.
Next email is from Brian from Boston. He writes, I'll be in the world during the third week of June and need to find a good bar or restaurant. Somehow, this is the third time in a row I will be in the world during World Cup. The last two times, I just watched the games I really wanted to from my room. I was too young to go to bars. Now, I'm 23 and would like to find some place a little more exciting to watch USA not choke this year. We're staying at Riverside, thanks to Deb Gordon from MEI and Mouse Fan Travel.
Yeah.
I had to get her name in. So Epcot or Downtown Disney would be ideal. Any suggestions?
You go to the grill at World of Sports.
Yeah,
I would say, either ESPN Zone.
Yeah, good. Do they have TVs at the bar at in England over there at Rose and Crown? Because that would be a good spot.
I don't think so.
That would, yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think they have televisions over there.
They don't want you to linger really in there.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not that kind of crowd.
Yeah,
it's true.
So the ESPN Club at Boardwalk, or you can go to World of Sports. Yeah.
Good. Next email is from somebody. Somebody didn't write their name. You got to always write your name and where you're from.
Francois
Francois.
Francois Dubois.
All right. Anyway, Old Frankie writes,
Dear Francois.
still catching up on previous shows, and many seem to be about the, quote, popping the question at the world. I had one idea, though it may be hard to pull off. Several of the rides take your picture during the attraction. If you knew when the picture was taken, then you could hold up a sign that reads, "Will you marry me?" Then at the end of the ride, as you and your girlfriend look at the ride photos, there you are with the sign on the screen. The trick would be to flash the sign and not make your significant other suspicious. If you could get a cast member involved, maybe he or she could find a way to seat you separately. I'm sure someone smarter than me could figure it out.
I would get a third party to sit behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
And pull the sign up.
Yeah, will you marry that guy? And like an arrow pointing.
Why do you want to marry Jonas? I don't understand.
She may say yes to the guy in the back, though. Yeah, I'll marry the guy in the back. Yeah, okay.
With my luck, I mean, I have the luck of, whatever. That would be the day the cameras weren't working. Just saying.
Good luck, Francois.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I mean, you just gotta have I think the third party will make it a whole lot easier. Otherwise, it's like, let's sit in separate rows, honey. Why?
Why? No reason.
There's no reason why I'm holding the sign.
Yeah, exactly. Why I'm bringing this large rolled tube
onto Everest.
Onto Everest, exactly.
You set it up ahead of time, and you have like suppose we were down there when they were down there. You set it up with us ahead of time, and then we show up.
Oh, we should totally do that. That's awesome.
That would be so much fun. All of us in the back of Spaceship Earth.
Although pinning his future on us remembering and our coordination is probably not the best idea.
We would be asking the wrong couple.
Yeah, exactly. You want to do what?
This coming from one of the people on this panel, I won't name names, who offered me a helicopter ride to Mexico the day of their wedding day. Just
I have no comment. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Next email is from Ken Hutchinson of Billerica, Massachusetts.
Billerica.
Wasn't he the shortstop for the Mets in '75?
Yeah, I was all glove, no bat.
Billerica. About a 238 lifetime. 12 home runs. 74 hits.
My family and I are going to Walt Disney World October 8th to the 18th. What are the average costs at Food and Wine Festival? And what are the average portion sizes? Let's start with that question before we move on to the next one. So what are the average costs and average portion sizes?
They've gone up, I want to say $4.
Yeah, $4 or $5 I think is average, yeah.
And the portion sizes really vary. In some places you get really a meager sampling. In other places it's a lot more food. Like in Italy, I know when you get they had in years past the lasagna over there, and that's a pretty decent helping of lasagna. Compared to I think in Australia they had a lamb bone thing.
Ooh,
and it's
those are good.
They're good, but they were they were very, very small in terms of size. So it does vary significantly from place to place. What are your thoughts on the size of the food, Lon?
I think they're relatively small portions, but a couple of them and it's good. You plan on spending for $15, you'll have enough food to eat.
Yeah.
So it's probably more expensive than counter service, but the food quality is going to be better too.
Ken adds, should we avoid a weekend day? If you guys are going to do food and wine around the world this year, I need to witness it. Please tell us then. P.S. Do you think it's possible for Len to answer a question without starting with the word so?
I would not.
Oh, dude, that hurts.
I would never go to Food and Wine on a Saturday.
Totally true. Totally true.
I would avoid Epcot on Saturday and Sunday during Food and Wine. I'd go
totally agree.
Monday through Thursday, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yes, they're much more crowded. The locals love to come on weekends. Next email is from Marty Doherty of Chicago.
Marty.
Hey, gang, love the show, big fan. Questions for our upcoming trip to Walt Disney World. Any thoughts on the horseback riding trail at Fort Wilderness? I've done this. Has anyone else done that?
No.
I've done it. It's fun. The trail is it's very woodsy.
Nay, I haven't.
Stop watching around.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
Here we go.
The trail is it's a nice little trail. The horses have done it so many times that they know it by heart, so they kind of you don't really have to do anything. You're just there for the ride.
A good bit. Leave him alone. He's just sowing his oats.
Anyway, it's a nice thing to do if you haven't done it before. If you're any kind of advanced rider by any means, it's really, I don't think you'll find much value out of it because it's not really like horseback riding in the sense that it just the horses just follow each other. It's a lot of fun if you don't really ride horses at all because you don't have to do anything. You just sit there, go for the ride, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah, let the horse do all the work.
Exactly.
Well, that question was a nightmare.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I think I'm catching a cold.
Come on, Matt. Pony up the next question.
Here we go. Oh my
Oh gosh.
god.
Saddle up.
Settle up, boy.
Marty adds.
Yeah, why the long face?
Oh well.
I'm doing this, but I have a travel question on how to get there. I'll be at the Magic Kingdom that particular morning. I remember from a previous visit staying at the Wilderness Lodge that there's a ferry going from Magic Kingdom to Wilderness Lodge, then to Fort Wilderness. Is this correct, or is it direct, or should I take a bus from the Magic Kingdom to the campgrounds? There is a boat indeed, that goes directly from the Magic Kingdom to Fort Wilderness. When you get to the dock over there, there's a split. One way goes to Fort Wilderness, and one boat, the other side of the dock, are boats for Wilderness Lodge. So, not a problem to take it there. Marty adds, by looking at the guide for 2010, which is sitting next to my guide from 2009, there's a map for the campgrounds. It would appear that if I take a water vessel of some sort, I'll be disembarking in the marina area, which according to the guide's map is at the total opposite side of the entire campgrounds from the stable area. How far is that in my quest to become the laziest person on earth? Is this too far to walk, or am I better off taking a bus? Short version, quickest way from Magic Kingdom to stables.
That's funny.
You're gonna have to definitely. What you do is take the boat from the Magic Kingdom, and then you take the internal bus. You can take any of the buses that are over there, and they'll bring you right to the outpost, which is where the stables are. And that's going to be your fastest way possible. Walking you could do, but it would take you far longer. Last question. Lastly, this will be my first time ever to the campgrounds. Are there things I need to do and see while I'm there? I hear you mention Trails End from time to time, so I'll be checking that bad boy out for sure. Anything else? It's just me, no kids, and it will be too early in the afternoon to see the Hoop-de-Doo whatever review.
Check out the lawnmower tree.
Yes.
Lawnmower tree?
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the lawnmower tree is nice. I'm trying to think. I was going to suggest the
Trading Post's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, the thing at night, the movies, Chippendale.
Campfire.
Campfire, thank you. Campfire sing along. But
Matt, when did he say he was going?
Does he give a date?
If you go in October, I bet you a lot of the campsites are going to be all decked out for Halloween.
That's a great.
That might be worth strolling around, just taking a look at all the campsites.
It doesn't give a date, but that's a great suggestion, Mike. In any event, to go check that out.
And even when we were there in March, there were lights at the campsites.
We had lights.
Yeah, also during Christmas time, people decorate as well.
Yeah, Christmas time they go all out. It's really cool.
Next email is from Dan. All right, it's Dan.
Dan.
Not Danny, just Dan.
Danny.
What restaurant has the best burger in Walt Disney World? Love the show and the website.
Wow. We did this once before. I was going to say Pico's Bills.
I haven't tried that new Angus burger they have over there, but I hear it's quite a monster.
It is. Me and Becky were looking at it during 10 Fest, and it is absolutely a monster.
I haven't had a chance. You didn't try it?
No way.
Was that the one that was like 3 stories tall?
Yes. You saw it, remember?
Yes. I don't know how anybody could put their mouth around it. It was humongous.
It looked. It's too much. It looked like it was too much.
Sounds like a job for Fred Block.
Challenge.
So Len, what do you think is the best burger on property?
I like Beaches and Cream, and I think the fountain over at the Swan.
Ooh, interesting pick. I know Beaches and Cream. I've heard many good things about them. Obviously, I've just had those, and they are very good.
Beaches and Cream. We'll have to do a whole other episode on it as we do every year. But for the next edition of the guide, the restaurant ratings rank it very highly.
Yeah, it's a great place.
We should all go do a research trip and just stay there all day and just eat.
No way, Jose.
Scopa, any thoughts on the best burger on property?
Beaches and Cream would be my first choice. It's funny Len mentioned the fountain. That place is really good.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a bad meal there. I've never had a burger there, but so I'm gonna stick with
burgers
Beaches
are
and Cream.
amazing. You know what's also good right there? Chicken sandwich. Tender, juicy. They're definitely cooking them as you order them. They're not sitting around, under a heat lamp or anything.
They have a very spicy Cajun chicken dish, which I love too.
Really?
Interesting.
Electric Umbrella in Epcot makes a decent hamburger too.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the counter service restaurants, especially in the parks, they all seem to be serving the same
I said
mediocre
decent. I
burgers.
didn't say it was
Oh.
All right.
Fair enough.
Settle down.
So,
easy.
next email is from Katie Smith from Facebook. Hello, Katie.
Facebook. What town
From
is that?
Facebook.
Facebook. I haven't been to that. town.
Facebook, Illinois.
Facebook, Illinois. FB, Illinois.
You mean Facebook?
If I say it is Catherine. Hello, Catherine. Do you know Francois Beauvoir?
Catherine writes, love the show. Just love you all, and thanks for posting on my Facebook and making my day. Just a few quick questions. Has anyone tried Paradiso 37 yet, or are we boycotting it since it is not owned by Disney? I haven't been there yet.
I haven't been there yet either.
Me either.
I hear their margaritas are very good, or they're supposed to be at least.
Really?
That's what I hear.
Oh, we
But I
so
have-
need now to have a research trip. We can eat and drink and
Yeah,
all this
nope.
other nonsense.
And my buddy Eric from Mousecast.com reported a. He
dropped
enjoyed it. No, that actually is the cat jumping on something.
Manny,
He liked it quite a bit, but I haven't had a chance to go over there. None of us have been to Paradiso 37 at Downtown Disney.
No, I gotta get there.
Nope.
Add that to the list after we roll out of Beaches and Cream after 24
Yep,
hours.
there we go.
no way, Jose.
Any recommendations for a non-character breakfast? I'm going down to the world soon with my in-laws, nephew, husband, mom, and will be 21-month-old daughter. I would like to take my in-laws to one of the monorail resorts to eat since they have never been to Disney World, because I think it would really impress them. But the only problem is my 21-month-old is deathly afraid of characters and screams bloody murder when one is even in the vicinity. Also, my husband despises eating with the characters because he says he cannot enjoy his meal with the freaking animals all around trying to touch me. End quote.
Well,
That's awesome.
Kona.
Yeah,
Newell, are you married to Kate?
I was gonna say the exact same thing.
What?
My what?
Macadamia nut pancakes.
Kona?
Well, Tonga toast.
Enough said.
But the best
married to who?
coffee. I just love the coffee at Kona.
Yeah.
Kona coffee.
It was a bad joke. Let it go, Mike. Kona. All right, so Kona, good suggestion over there. I'm trying to.
Oh, wait, Jose. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, for breakfast, it's hard to beat Kona, especially on the monorail loop over there. I don't think there's any other restaurant that I would even consider.
Yeah, me neither.
Katie has one more question. Not really a question, more of a comment for Len. I was in my statistics class and just about dying when, lo and behold, there is an article in the textbook about Bob. The whole write-up was about how Bob uses statistics and the importance of it and so on, and all about how the guide really works. Really a great article. I ended up zoning out during the entire lecture on frequency distributions.
Where was that from? What school?
From Facebook.
From Facebook. Remember that?
No, what school?
Facebook,
No. What school? What school was doing the lecture?
I don't know. It doesn't. She doesn't. Her email address isn't from a school, so I don't know.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty cool.
Next email is from Amy from Cape May, New Jersey. Who writes, I love the podcast, and I have been trying to catch up on all the older ones. You've answered one of my questions before, but this just came up, and I had to write to see what you thought. Before we begin, I know that Christmas is the busiest time of the year and was prepared to plan everything to minimize wait times. However, I was just on the United Kingdom website, and I saw that the hours for December from this past year, just to compare for this upcoming trip, we're going at December 27th to January 3rd, 2011, and it says that there are extra magic hours every morning in the Magic Kingdom. Can this really be true? The problem is we're staying at Bonnet Creek Wyndham Timeshare, so we cannot use extra magic hours. My plan was to go to the Magic Kingdom on opposite days, but now that they're scheduled for every day, I do not know what touring plans to use.
Well, so they're staying offsite.
Offsite and going during Christmas week. Let me add one more thing here that might be useful for you, Len. We must, and must is in capital letters, be able to ride Dumbo, and I'm afraid that no matter what we do, we'll have to wait in the longest lines. What's the best plan for us to use, and do you really think they will have extra magic hours every morning?
Yeah, they will. I mean, they did it during Easter last week. They'll have it. So that means that so they'll do two things. They'll open the park at 8, and then they'll have extra magic hours every day. So the park will actually be open at 7. I think if you get there at 8, the waits won't be terribly long, but that's still going to be tough. My suggestion is get there around 7:30 and see if you get in 7:30, 7:15. See what happens.
Okay, so get there 7:30 a.m. and hope for the best.
Hope for the best, exactly. I think that's the best you can do.
Any touring plan that you might recommend over another one, Len?
No, I wouldn't use the later arrival ones. Just again, the holiday plans would probably be the best way to go. because during the latter part of the late morning, you'll see attractions like Haunted Mansion start to get really, really packed. Sort of the secondary attractions, you'll start to see those get really, really packed, and as people just try and find anything with less than an hour wait. So the holiday plans adjust for that.
Okay. Got another email for you here, Len. That's from Ryan Heath from Galesburg, Champaign, Illinois. Who writes, just finished watching the Steelers-Titans game Thursday, September 10th, 2009. Don't cheat, Matt. And saw Len's various Facebook mobile updates. So I guess you were updating about the game, Len. And he writes, that made me think of a recent article I read on Deadspin.com that showed how much it was for Larry English, the San Diego Chargers' first overall draft pick, to take the entire team out to dinner. Over $14,000 for dinner for the team. So, Len, if you were going to show that type of generosity, you could take over 112 people to dinner at Victoria and Albert's, or about 667 people to dinner at Trail's End to the buffet, or provide approximately 3,500 Dole Whip floats. Len, what do you say?
I think that's a fabulous idea.
All right, Newell, it's booked. Let's do it.
Let's go.
How many ADRs at Trails End is that?
Would you have to have that?
Next email is from Megan Kransky of East Rutherford, New Jersey. I listen to you all the time. Okay, just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm getting ready for my next Disney trip, and I have one question regarding the monorails. Since that crash last year, are guests still allowed to sit up in the front with the driver, or have they put a stop to it since the crash?
They put a stop to it.
Yeah, they haven't. They have not resumed the ability for people to ride in the front of the monorail as of the time of this podcast, or the recording at least. Next email is from Brett Ward, who
The cousin Mickey doesn't talk about.
there you go, Brett in New Hampshire. Brett writes, this was in reference to that episode we did about tipping at Walt Disney World. He writes, there's one flaw.
5% is good enough for everyone. This country needs a good 5-cent service. Go ahead.
There's one flaw in Matt's reasoning for tipping depending on service as far as housekeeping goes. He writes, I attend a convention every year. We get the same reminders every year before we go. One of the big ones they make sure everyone is aware of is they need to leave a tip every day, not just on the last day of your visit. The reason is, if you stay 3 days, you could have 3 different housekeepers. The assignments change on a daily basis depending on occupancy and state of the rooms. The only exception is on a cruise. You get the same person every day.
Yeah, I've been traveling a lot, even outside of Disney, and I've been doing this every day too. And I noticed that I get different thank you notes from different people every day too, almost every day. Some hotels don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree. I mean, the thing with it is, like, I just can't. I don't know how this sounds, but I just don't see how you can tip before you get the service you receive. And I know it's kind of hard. I mean, the other thing to consider is, I don't know if they pool their tips, which I'm not sure of. They may pool their tips.
No, not.
You don't think so?
No.
I'm like, okay, well, then I don't know. I just, it's kind of hard to, and I don't want it to be like a mafia kind of thing where, I leave money in advance hoping that nothing bad happens. I don't think that's
God forbid anything bad should happen to your shampoo.
So, next email is from Rob Hendershot. That's greetings all. Just listened to today's show, and you mentioned that Magic Music Days. I performed in Magic Music Days at Disneyland 20-ish years ago, and it was probably the best Disney experience ever. Yeah, I haven't. We have actually one more email about Magic Music Days. It's from Amy, who writes, "Hi, hello, my name is Amy. I currently live in Georgia. Anyway, on the last episode that I had heard, I listened to the Magic Music Days, and they were mentioned. I went to the Magic Music Days in April of 1999 with about 100 other high school kids from Minnesota. We took a bus that ran straight through, stopping only for meals. Of course, that was awful. We stayed offsite because it was cheaper, according to the travel agent, but I truly questioned that. I remember some of it very well. We got to play as a group in the Magic Kingdom. Not too many people came to listen, but there were a few. It was very hot in our black clothes. Why did the band director choose black? Easily over 100 degrees in stage lights, which was awful being from Minnesota. We were brought into the park as a group from backstage, and I was the first in line, so I had the privilege of marching 100 other rowdy teenagers to the theater. It was kind of embarrassing.
Awesome.
So thanks for sharing your thoughts there, Amy and Rob from Magic Music Days. But Newell, I think it's time for our last email of the day. Am I right?
Okay, sounds good to me.
All right. That means I'm gonna give Mr. Newell 3 emails to choose from. 1 gets read today. The other 2 go back into the email queue to be answered later. You ready, Mike?
Let's go.
All right. Here are your options, Mike. Last day in the world, leaving the property, or starring role, and role is ROLL or ROLE, at Walt Disney World. So, last day in the world, leaving the property, starring role at Walt Disney World.
I like the last day at the world.
Last day at the world.
I don't like the last day at the world, but
Prefer that email.
I prefer the email.
Last email today is going to be from Mike from Minneapolis. Atomic
Hey,
Mike on the boards.
Hoorah.
Right. Sadly, I do not have a trip planned right now, although as I plan to return when the Fantasyland expansion is complete, it's probably not too late to send in my question about getting ADRs at Gaston's. Len, do you have any data on the wait times at Little Mermaid for October 2014? Say between 2 and 4 p.m.? Nice.
That's awesome.
First, now I'm getting my fix with you guys and terminally jealous as you go multiple times in the year. This led me to a thought experiment for you. Imagine for some outrageous reason, job in Antarctica, alien invasion, whatever you'd like, that you only have one more day to spend in the world. Ever. Just one day. What would you do? Where would you eat? And where would you go? What would you see? One day, and that's it. From the rope drop of your choice to the end of the day, somewhere. This forces you to think about what's really important, what your favorite attractions, spots, restaurants are, and whether you'd spend time going from park to park. See, for example, on a normal Walt Disney World day, Len might choose to end it sleeping on the floor at La Cava del Tequila, but he might not in this
Sleeping,
case.
yes, that's the word. Sleeping.
Would
Yes.
Yule spend any time in the bushes on a day like this? Would Matt stick to the studios? Would Scope be found sitting on a stone bench across from the Dole Whip stand? And would Annette get her hair sparkled again? This really gets at the heart of things your absolute sentimentalists must do. I look forward to hearing your choices and wonder if there'll be some fun surprises in there. All right, Scopo, last day ever. Where are you going?
Okay. I'm not going to do 4 parks in one day. I'll probably do maybe 3 parks in one day. I would definitely start in the morning at Magic Kingdom, do a few things there, including having the aforementioned Dole Whip. Probably spend early afternoon at the studios doing a few things, including Beauty and the Beast. And, of course, I would finish up in Epcot, having dinner at Le Cellier, and closing it off with a viewing of Illuminations.
Yeah, I think what I would definitely spend the day in the studios, obviously. But given the park hours, I know that I'll be able to, in order to maximize my day. The Magic Kingdom is probably going to have the most amount of hours, so for that reason, I'm not going to waste. Although I would love to see Fantasmic one more time, I'm not going to waste my time waiting an hour for Fantasmic. I'd rather spend more time in the park. So I'm going to hop over to the Magic Kingdom. So I figured that would be my park to do, simply because I get more park hours out of it. Go enjoy the Magic Kingdom, and then I guess I would welcome our alien overlords beyond that. Glenn?
I'd probably start the day off in the Magic Kingdom and have one last lunch over at Pecos Bills before heading over to Epcot and touring Spaceship Earth and World Showcase. And I'd probably have dinner somewhere in there.
What's going to sound like I'm on the same plan as Lynn. I can't believe that. Yeah, I would start in Magic Kingdom and, have your last little walk down Main Street. I think I would jump over to Studios real quick just to do a little walk because I love walking right in there, right in the entranceway. I love the feel of the entrance of that park too. And then I'd go over to Epcot and spend a lot of time in World Showcase.
Noel?
See, I think I would start my day at the studios. Get what I need to get out of the way. Maybe one last ride on Tower of Terror ever.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Head over to Magic Kingdom. Stay there to at least the mid to late afternoon, and then spend the evening at Epcot. Dinner, I don't know where I would have dinner. I think I would be with Mike and go to Le Cellier for dinner.
I think I would probably, again, trying to maximize my park time, I would go for a resort dinner because the hours are more flexible over there generally. And I would go for a dinner
like
at
midnight. Yeah.
Midnight dinner.
Midnight dinner.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're going to Waffle House at the end, right?
Waffle.
Peekaboos. Go to Peekaboos.
Peekaboos. All right. And so I guess that's it. That's our final day. I think it's just
That's kind of sad to even think about, though.
Au revoir.
It's
Exactly.
amazing how Newell dropped that Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
Dropped.
Well, if it's the last, that was sad.
he doesn't really care. He's just
Rimshot.
Very good. Well, don't forget this episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, and there's no joking about the great deals you can get with MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Regardless of what time of the year you're going, why not give them a try to at least see what they're going to price things out for? You never know when they're going to have access to some special codes, some special deal. Maybe they got a group rate going the same time you're going, and they can throw you in there. And you know what that means? Lower prices for you. And again, if anything, it's going to be the same price as it would have been, except they're going to do all the work on their ends. That way it leaves you more time to listen to us, I guess. Check them out online at www.mousefantravel.com. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the WDW Today website at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testo, Mike Scopa, and Mike Newell, and of course the fabulous Annette Owens, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.